The air inside the throne chamber of Zarathiel Station felt like it was vibrating, not from machinery but from the presence of the occupant. The Immortal Queen Aephyra had ruled the 12 clustered star systems for centuries. Her empire stretched across sectors, her word enforced by fleets of living ships that moved as if they were extensions of her will. And yet, she was now staring at him, or rather, the holographic projection that floated in front of her. The message had traveled light years through secure channels, encrypted beyond any standard military protocol. It had been marked as treason, and those who had intercepted it had sworn it would be ignored, destroyed, and forgotten. But Aephyra had asked for it. "Traitor," she said, her voice echoing with centuries of authority, her glowing eyes narrowing. "Do you really think you can justify this?" Elias Crowe swallowed hard. The title of traitor had followed him for months, ever since he sent the transmission from the fringe system of Orion 9. It was an official warning, a plea, and, in his own words, a last chance to prevent a massacre. It accused the Queen's fleet of misjudging human colonies as potential rebel outposts and detailed the devastating consequences of the automated strikes she had ordered. And yet, she was asking about it, not punishing him outright. Elias stood taller in the projection. "Your Majesty," he began, keeping his voice steady, "I didn't send it as an act of defiance. I sent it because people would die if you didn't hear the truth." Aephyra's wings, subtle crystalline appendages that shimmered with her thoughts, shifted, reflecting a faint violet hue across the chamber. "Truth," she repeated, almost mockingly. "You call treason truth?" "Yes," Elias said firmly, "because this message was meant to save lives. Not just human lives. Yours too. And the Empire's." She was silent for a long moment. The hum of the station filled the pause, punctuated by the soft clicks of hovering drones adjusting their positions. Her long reign had made her a master of patience, but there was a flicker, a human-sized hesitation, that no courtly etiquette could hide. Aephyra's fingers hovered over a crystalline console, undecided. "Explain yourself, human," she finally said, the warning in her voice softened by curiosity. Elias inhaled deeply, recalling every word he had sent months ago, every calculation, every warning, every plea. "You ordered the elimination of settlements on Striven Beta and Delta. Automated protocols labeled them as hostile insurgents. But they weren't. They were civilians. Colonists. Families. You have the ability to prevent unnecessary death, but no one told you because no one could. Except me. I sent the message." The Queen's eyes glimmered with ancient fire. "And you expected me to believe that?" "I expected you to read it," he replied, "and think. The beginning. The message that labeled him traitor." Elias hadn't planned to become a traitor. He had been a fleet intelligence officer for the Terran Interstellar Command, assigned to coordinate communications with the Valerian Empire, a task that usually involved logistics, reports, and diplomatic protocol. But when his sensors detected a deadly sequence of automated strikes targeting human colonies, he realized something no one else had. The Queen's AI-controlled fleet would not distinguish civilians from insurgents. He drafted the message cautiously. Every word mattered. "Imperial Fleet," it began, "these colonies are populated by civilians. Strikes will result in catastrophic loss of life. Authorization exceeds protocol limits. Immediate halt advised." He detailed the coordinates, the projected casualties, and offered alternatives. Once sent, he knew the consequences. The Terran Command considered direct interference with the Valerian Empire a severe offense, punishable by court-martial or death. Yet he could not stay silent. Days later, he was declared a traitor. His name circulated as a symbol of insubordination. Allies called him reckless. Enemies labeled him foolish. And yet, the colonies survived. But nothing compared to the moment when Aephyra herself summoned the message, demanding to speak with the author. The middle, confrontation and revelation. The chamber expanded with her presence. Every surface of the station reflected fragments of light from her crystalline wings, making Elias feel both insignificant and monumental at once. "You've crossed lines no human has ever dared," Aephyra said. "Not since my ascension. Why should I not terminate your existence now and call it justice?" "Because," Elias said, "you're not a tyrant. Not truly. You're immortal, yes, but immortality comes with responsibility. The colonies were never your enemy. They were a miscommunication away from annihilation. My message corrected that before the stars burned them out." She tilted her head, the slightest flicker of interest softening her eyes. "You presume to lecture an immortal queen on morality." "I'm not lecturing," Elias said. "I'm reminding you that even the most powerful can make mistakes. Even immortals can still choose mercy." Aephyra's wings pulsed faster, a sign of agitation or thought. "You are naive," she said. "Mercy is irrelevant when strategy demands decisive action." "Strategy kills people," Elias countered. "Mercy preserves them. You can still be remembered as the ruler who corrected her mistakes, not the one who ignored them." A silence fell over the chamber. The AI drones hovered motionless, as if even they waited for her reaction. Finally, Aephyra's voice softened, almost imperceptibly. "And you risked everything to send this message. Risked your life, your honor, your reputation." "Yes," Elias admitted, "because it was the right thing to do." The queen studied him for a long time. For the first time in centuries, someone human had not begged, not cowered, and not flattered. They had spoken truth. "Perhaps," she whispered, "there is more to your species than I imagined." The turning point, from traitor to ally. Days later, the Tribunal of Immortals convened, a gathering of Aephyra's advisors and lieutenants, beings who had ruled planets longer than humans had existed. They demanded justice for Elias's actions. "You acted without authorization," one of them declared, its voice like grinding metal. "This cannot be ignored." Aephyra raised a hand. "And yet, the colonies survive." The tribunal faltered. Every report confirmed it. Lives that should have been extinguished were saved. "You disobeyed protocol," another intoned. "And prevented genocide," Aephyra corrected. "Are we judges of morality or mechanics?" Elias realized in that moment the power of a single human act. It was not brute force, not clever strategy, not overwhelming fleets. It was moral courage. The kind that could bend immortal will. Aephyra turned to him privately after the tribunal. Her wings folded slightly. "I called you a traitor," she said quietly. "And yet, I find myself compelled to trust you." "I don't seek trust," Elias replied. "I just seek the truth to be seen." The queen considered him. "Perhaps the title of traitor is insufficient." "You don't have to call me anything," Elias said. "Just act on the truth." And she did. The ending. A lasting change across the stars. Months passed. Aephyra's reign continued, but now with new oversight. Human and alien advisors worked side by side. Colonies once considered expendable now had protection protocols. Military automation was revised. Intelligence officers who would have once followed orders without question now consulted with human liaisons.